for documenting your passage from girlhood to womanhood. That's pathetic, Mom. I pretend grumbled, following her down the worn deck steps. I actually thought the poster ritual was sweet, but this was a tradition too. Me grumbling, Mom insisting. Assume the position. Mom pointed to the rose trellis. I stood under the sweet-smelling arc and held up the poster to block my face. How's this? Very funny, Vivi. I lowered the poster, thinking of all the moments like this captured in the collage frame in our kitchen. The photo showed my metamorphosis from a chubby little girl with big brown eyes and a mess of dark curls to a curvy girl with the same big eyes and curls I still struggled to control. Along the way, I'd suffered through braces and a few bad haircuts. Most days, I still felt like that pale, chubby kid hiding in the shadows of Jazz's oversized personality. Smile, sweetie. I stuck out my tongue. The shutter clicked as I laughed, and she kept snapping. Jazz joined me, and the poses got even sillier while Mom snapped away, laughing. Mom liked to think of herself as an amateur photographer, but her real jobs were writing a semi-famous series of mystery novels and running her bookstore, Murder by the Sea. Mom and I were obsessed with books. Her obsessions included writing complicated psychological mysteries that gave me nightmares and running the only bookstore within a 50-mile radius of our town. My obsessions focused on reading, romances mostly, and blogging about them. Hardly a day passed without us engaging in passionate and funny debates about what we were reading or had tossed aside in frustration. We should go. Jazz brushed crumbs off her vintage Aerosmith concert t-shirt. Jazz loved those old shirts, even though they were usually covered in fur from the stray cat she rescued. I felt another twinge of guilt as I returned Mom's extra-long goodbye hug, wondering if she'd guessed my outfit might have something to do with a guy. I knew she was relieved I hadn't had any serious romances. Yet. Guys shouldn't become an obsession, she lectured more than once. Think of them as sprinkles on the donuts of life. Fun, but not necessary. Easy for Mom to say. She had a long-term sprinkle situation going with Paul, the owner of the surfboard shop. Since Paul adored my mom and loved her weird author quirks, I approved. When Mom was so wrapped up in writing that she forgot about their date nights, he just laughed and whisked her away to fancy dinners, still dressed in her uniform of yoga pants and a faded sweatshirt. One time, she left the house in her slippers, and he didn't tell her because he thought it was cute. On top of all that, he was good-looking, in a ponytailed, leathery old surfer kind of way, and his son Toph and I had been friends forever. While I packed a few donuts for the homeless guys I knew we'd see on our way to school, Jazz tried to hug our cat Hiddles goodbye, but he hissed and bared his claws. Jazz had forced the rescue cat on us, naming him after Tom Hiddleston, but our cat had none of the actor's charm. I gave Mom another quick goodbye hug, and then we headed for the raised, paved path that paralleled the water. Jazz on her gazillion-speed mountain bike, me on my old beach cruiser. It was the slowest way to school, but the most scenic, and you never knew who you might see jogging along the beach. Occasionally, movie stars escaped LA to head up the coast and hide out in Shady Cove. The unwritten town code was to ignore the celebs, which was easy for me, but harder for Jazz. Jazz claimed that celebrity stalking was her one weakness, since as an artist, she had to stay aware of pop culture. But we both knew the truth was she lusted after hot actors. I don't really look like a hooker, do I? I asked as we navigated around speedwalkers and joggers. I was going for sexy cute, not slutty. Jazz laughed. Nah, you're just showing some skin. Usually your outfits are kind of boring. No offense. None taken.